We're 6 minutes late, so we'll start this pretty quick.
Sorry.
This is our podcast show, LuZoCast. This is episode number 2. Today, or this week, we decided to try out streaming it live via the YouTube. It's been interesting so far. I'm Ravi.
I'm Krishna.
I'm Sarah.
And on the phone we
and
have...
I am Arjuna.
Arjuna.
Yeah, he's the really strangely colored picture on the iPad.
Hold on.
he's a head.
We need to improve that.
Oh yeah,
Hold on.
let's improve that picture.
We're gonna improve the picture of Arjuna.
Just
Go
a
ahead,
little
let's talk. Nobody needs to
Great,
from me.
great photo. Love it.
You just talk.
Glad to be here.
All right, so let's get into it, right? Game of Thrones, episode 3. I don't remember what the title of it was.
Episode 4.
Episode 4. My bad. I'm
changing
sorry.
the camera really quick because...
That's all right.
It's blown out on me, right?
Yeah, there we go. That's
A little better?
A little better.
Cool.
Okay.
I guess I'll just go first real quick. I really liked the episode. I think a lot happened. In general, my observation of this season is that it's moving like quicker than the last 2 or 3 seasons combined. I would assume that's because they're sort of in an uncharted territory, so they can go at their own speed. And things are developing quickly, and I like the pace.
A lot quicker. Especially that scene with Psychopath, Mr. Ramsey.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They could have totally
I
dragged it out.
I thought that would be at least a 1-2 episode thing, but nope. Right in the
No,
neck.
yeah,
Right in the
they
neck.
are they're just getting rid of characters they don't want around. They're cleaning house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow!
That's good.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had Harry Potter joining us. But
yeah, we do.
Harry Potter.
that's great.
So
Oh, there he is. Oh.
So just to clarify, if Arjuna is away for a little bit,
Yeah. This is what he gets.
and so if he's going to be on the phone, which is fine, then we're going to have a picture of him.
Yeah.
And we're going to draw on it
Yes.
because it's fun.
I can see it. I can see it now. The stream's caught up.
Yeah, the delay is great.
It could be
And,
worse. It could be worse. It will be worse.
Yes.
it could be.
It will be.
Could
Don't
be.
worry.
It's already worse. So it
Oh
happens.
my.
Oh man.
Oh my.
So actually, Sarah, real quick now.
Yeah.
So you've read the books
Many times, except for the last one.
Yeah.
Preface with that.
And then also you've lived the show. How do you find this pacing?
Well, I mean, it's definitely, they're moving right along.
Mm-hmm.
Speedier than I think they have been in the past on the show. I was just shocked. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be shocked. It's not like I'm shocked that they killed a character, but it was kind of just like, okay, well, you really are getting rid of the characters you don't need, and they're really paring it down.
Yeah.
But fine.
Yeah.
Would you say this episode is kind of it's kind of like the major points of, like, I guess you could say season 1, 2, and 3, where you have the Khaleesi coming through the fire, you have a Stark raising an army all of a sudden.
There's some interesting parallels.
Like, it's, if you will, times repeating itself.
Yeah.
For the most part,
Also,
we're getting.
They ran out of ideas.
We're getting.
I don't know. I think it's more like
it
it worked
could be.
before for Daenerys, so why doesn't she do it again? The thing that you've got to think about is that the Dothraki culture is a bit more primitive, as are some of the other cultures, but she knows what works with them. She knows what worked before, and it makes sense that if she goes in there with all of the Khals, who are extremely powerful men and lead these massive Khalasars, it only makes sense if she goes in, she burns the place down, and she is the only one that walks out alive through the flames. Of course they're going to bow to her.
Yes.
Like, good.
Power.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
She belongs in the
Yeah, she's definitely showing her worth, and she's showing her power and her command, and it made sense to kind of wrap up of, well, we didn't want her just to be in captivity the whole season, and I think that was the most logical and best way to do it. And it's old Game of Thrones, I guess you could say, that it would be the whole season. She'd probably just be in there hanging out, But I kind of like the new non-book following Game of Thrones, where, like you guys talked about, it's just moving right along, and things are happening, and so I definitely liked her storyline. Was really good. I think my favorite was just Jon Snow kind of being reunited with Sansa.
That was pretty
I
cool.
really liked that.
Right.
I think I liked it most, and I'm glad they actually touched on it, that she was always awful to him. He was the bastard brother.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't remember, did they cover that some in maybe in the first season, barely, before
I think she was
parted
very
ways?
cold.
She was just like, he's the bastard brother. He's not, and he was, and I like that she
admitted that. Really.
Well, yeah, and actually even brought it up herself.
Yeah.
John, it's not in his nature. He's not going to do that.
Yeah, you had a really
For him,
interesting
it's family.
Yeah, right. You had a really interesting sort of reaction. So Sarah was like watching this. So as Sansa's coming through the gates, Sarah was like, "Oh, this should be really interesting to see the
which way John goes."
Yeah, which way either of them go. Like how Sansa, since she was so cold toward him. I mean, we could assume since they'd both been through so much,
right,
those petty childhood kind of things are probably going to go by the wayside, right?
She said, he said, we were children.
And he said there's nothing.
How long has it been, I guess, since they've seen?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm always a little fuzzy on the timeline. Yeah.
Because winter makes no sense in their time.
Well, yeah, you
Was it
can't
like
really
6
base it on
years?
seasons. It depends. It varies, and it's always very long. But nice.
Should have made it red.
It's just, there's no way. We need to look, though. We can look it up. I mean, we have computers, the interwebs, they can tell us.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of liked, especially with Sansa and Jon, just where their characters have gone, and from that first meeting, or when we saw them in season 1 together, to where they are now. Sansa's a much stronger individual. They've both been through a lot. I mean, Jon said that where he's like, I've killed brothers and killed men. I hung a boy that was younger than Rickon. He's horrified. He's shelled right now. I mean, because he was just resurrected, obviously. And I kind of like how they show there's this uncertainty with Jon. And Sansa is now the strong one between the two of them as of right now, in terms of no, we have to go to Winterfell. We have to go save Rickon. Well, he's still kind of like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm still kind of, she's like, no, we have to go do this. I'm glad, again, I think old Game of Thrones might have dragged that on for a few episodes, and I kind of just by the end of the episode, he's like, all right, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. We're obviously building up toward another epic episode 9 where, it'll be Jon leading a big army of wildlings and the Vale people and, other people to fight against, Roose Bolton and the, idiots.
Right, and you get the sense that army will probably be the first line of defense against the others, right? I mean, that's you got that party coming down south at some point, so you would imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be right. So we'll see where it goes, and then obviously go from there. Are they going to? Will Jon and this army, fight for the Iron Throne, or will they focus more on what's coming beyond the north with? What we've seen that's going to be coming. So I mean, we have to see where it goes first. Thrones always throws in wrenches. It doesn't always go exactly how you think it's going to go. So I'm sure
key people get killed off before they really get going.
There's definitely going to be twists and turns along the way. But it's definitely exciting with that storylines going, where just for so many years it's just been slowly developing, and you kind of for the longest time I just didn't care about Winterfell the last season and a half with Bolton kind of torturing Theon for a year. So I definitely like how they're speeding up this process, and you have the Greyjoy storyline, which is I know a big storyline in the book. There's a lot of POV characters, if I'm not mistaken, that they kind of had not addressed, but that they're finally addressing. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes.
Right. Well, there are some storylines still that they're now playing out that have already been played out in the books. There are still a couple.
That's right.
So everything on the Iron Islands on Pike with the Kingsmoot happening, that has already happened in the books.
Right.
I won't say anything because who knows? That might change. I mean, probably not drastically.
Wait, the whole thing with the brother and
with what do they call her on here? Yara, which is her in the books. She's called Asha. So if I say Asha, that's because I'm, misspeaking. I don't know why they changed the name of the show, but in the books, all that has happened. The Kingsmoot has passed, and they went through that whole process already. So they still have a few storylines. The Arya stuff, some of this, I feel like they're still using some stuff that has already happened in the books as well, on the Arya stuff. So they haven't completely left all the storylines, and it's not completely fresh with everything because they still had some loose ends to tie up from the books, which is fine. I mean, it's not, it's still, at the rate they're going, they'll tie it up pretty quickly, and we'll move into completely new territory. I did find a couple of different places online where people are saying probably about 5 years since the beginning of this, 5 to 6 years since the beginning of.
So almost real time then.
Yeah.
Oh, well, interesting. Okay.
Kind of ish.
Yeah.
And weird.
Off a year or so.
But that would make sense because if you think about the size of that country or that kingdom, that huge, I mean, it's pretty massive.
It takes a long time to travel.
They're traveling. It takes like weeks, months to travel from one part to the other, especially even just for them to get down to King's Landing in the first place because they were traveling with an army, with the Queen's wheelhouse, with, they had all of that. So like that, just the traveling to getting there, takes a lot longer. So anyway, that's just speculation. I found a couple of different places that's kind of speculated the same thing. It may be the same person speculating on multiple sites. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
And then what? Daenerys is now have an army of
that's the cool thing too.
Khal Drogo people.
Before
the Dothraki.
Before
what was
Daenerys.
His name? Sorry, what
Khal
was
Drogo. You're
correct.
No.
But the actor, he also played. What was his name?
Aquaman.
Jason
Momoa. Ronan.
Oh, Ronan in Stargate.
Ronan.
Wait, he was in Stargate Atlantis?
He was in Stargate Atlantis. He was Ronan.
Wow.
And he was still kind of similar to Khal Drogo. He didn't talk much.
Oh, it was a very similar.
He was angry all the time.
But kind of cool and badass at the same time.
Oh, very much.
Quick side note, my favorite episode of Stargate Atlantis ever was an episode they did with Ronan and Teal'c from Stargate SG-1.
Teal'c, yeah.
Oh God, where they just
that was such a great episode
where they were trying to fight and kill each other. Yeah, that was good.
Like they teamed up on like the interim base they had between like the Atlantis home base and Homeworld, where they had all the Stargates. Like they had to fight off a bunch of people, and they just destroyed everybody. And just like,
yeah, that's right. The Wraith. It was called Midway Station, and the Wraith got control into Midway Station.
Right.
Good show.
Oh, that's right.
Actually, continue on the whole side note. If Independence Day 2 does well, supposedly Mr.
oh, that's right.
No, Roland
Emmerich,
the guy. Yeah. If that does well, he will be interested in greenlighting an official Stargate 2 feature film.
Wait.
The studio would it would show that Roland's still bankable, and it's be a deal of like you do one for us, we do one for you.
Right, Christopher Nolan-esque setup.
Oh, man.
So, but that will follow after the other movie and not take any of the extra universe into account, right?
Probably not. Yeah, exactly. Because you don't want to isolate your audience.
No, you don't have to though. You could just acknowledge that it exists to an extent. I feel like that.
Well, Stargate has done the multiverse. They've done time travel.
That's true. They have. They've done the one with the mirrors.
Yes.
Where you go in between that was in Stargate SG-1,
I remember reading an article about 10 years ago where Roland said he had 2 more movies planned for Stargate, and he said that the 3rd movie would work to tie in and allow this TV show to exist in the same universe.
That's pretty cool.
To explain all that, the mythology. So I don't know if that's still his plan, but
it depends on the studio's plan. Let's be honest.
Sure,
Not his plan.
Of course.
Who's bankrolling this thing?
Of course.
Exactly.
Of course.
Back onto
let's talk about the Marine storyline with Tyrion, kind of doing the negotiation thing with the different slave owners and his little small council, pretty much disagreeing with him and still going along, but not being very happy with his type of negotiations. It was probably the weakest part of the episode and a pretty strong episode, but I still think, and obviously the least amount happened there, but I definitely think those are some interesting developments going on there. Where do you guys see that kind of going?
Well, I think Tyrion is Tyrion.
He's maneuvering.
He's trying to keep a bad situation from getting worse. And he's doing it in the only way that he knows how, which is giving in to greedy men.
Which he's very good. He's very good at doing that. He's not giving in. He's making allowances because he is better at manipulating than...
Well, he's negotiating, right?
He's manipulating.
But back to the whole Daenerys thing. I mean, it's kind of a moot point what he's doing because in my mind, they're setting up that Daenerys is going to come in with a bunch of Khal Drogo troopers and storm the castle. That's what I call them, Khal Drogo troopers.
But here's the thing, and I think this is what they're setting up. They're setting up, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I feel like, so Daenerys has come in and she's ruled with just like all or nothing, like slavery's gone, that's it, she's very black and white, right? So I think you have that right now, and then you have Tyrion, who has always been a negotiator. He's always, knows how to deal with people, knows how to negotiate, can keep doing that and whatnot. So I think they're setting up maybe a conflict between Tyrion and Daenerys, where Daenerys may
want to steamroll.
Maybe, but
I don't know. I guess we'll see. I think it's just going to be an interesting dynamic.
Well,
she comes back.
The thing about
she's been gone for a while.
Is she's been
probably a couple months.
But I would say this is that she is she very much has been doing it her own way, but she's not an idiot. I know she was tired of sitting and dealing with it, but at the same time, she's going to realize that that Tyrion's has merit. That Tyrion's method has merit. Though this is, I think we got distracted earlier, or I did. What I was going to say that I thought was interesting is the first time she only had Khal Drogo's Khalasar. This time she has all of the Khalasars. So, thousands and thousands of Dothraki, which is kind of crazy because no one Khal has ever ruled all, I don't think, has ever ruled all of the Khalasars.
Well, wasn't Khal Drogo the closest?
No, his Khalasar was very large, yes. And when he died, some of his blood riders split off and led their own Khalasars, the ones that didn't stay with Daenerys.
Gotcha.
But now she not only has, the equivalent of what she had before, she also has... the blood riders of every call there.
Got it.
Because all those, and you saw all the guys in all the Dothraki men in the House of the Dosh Khaleen.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of those has several thousand, just at a minimum.
Blood riders, or
no, the blood riders usually they have like 4 to 5 blood riders. Those are their like. If you think of it like
so you're saying 7,000 troopers?
Followers, horses. And also, the only thing that's kind of crazy with the Dothraki is that each
the picture or the Khal Drogo troopers?
Each Khalasar has not only fighting men, but they also have women and children and older, the older people. Like it's a whole community, civilization that moves.
Gotcha.
So it's not just that she's coming with. She's coming with an army. So
they're similar to like Mongolian culture, or
I don't know. Don't get me to lie. I think that's kind of where it was based on. It's a very nomadic culture.
Gotcha.
Mongolians might be
a very warlike, nomadic.
Because they were about the horses. I think they were the first mounted archers, and that's how come they were able to defeat the Chinese.
I'm gonna say it one more time. We have the internet.
That's true.
I'm gonna look it up.
One thing I was disappointed with this episode and so far this season is just 4 episodes in, and I feel like Jaime Lannister has just become like a talking puppet for his sister.
I agree.
Technically, though, he's been a talking puppet like the whole time.
Not necessarily.
He was a badass.
I actually had this discussion with our good friend Matt, before I left. We were talking a little bit of Game of Thrones. We're talking about Jaime used to be his and mine, and I think a lot of people's favorite character when he was captive and he was, traveling with Brienne and he got his hand cut off. That was some of my personal favorite parts of Game of Thrones.
And he was like morally ambiguous.
Well, that broke it. Yeah,
exactly.
That broke him.
Right.
Yeah.
That broke him, and that was an interesting. And I think I told all of you when we first started watching that no matter how much you hate, I didn't specifically say Jaime, but he was the one that there will be characters that you
I remember that.
Absolutely hate.
Yeah.
That will surprise you. That you will not always hate the characters you think are awful now.
Yeah.
And that you will.
Number one is Theon.
Yeah. Although I mean, you liked him all right at first. He was kind of a jackass.
That's true. He did have a certain charm.
Then he turned into a complete asshole.
Yeah.
And then
now you just feel bad for him.
You feel bad for him.
For like a good 4 seasons.
Speaking of, as long as we're transitioning then to Theon. That was an interesting. I guess I had forgotten what happened when Yara tried to go save him.
Yeah, it was like
because I was like, wait,
10-minute thing in an episode. I
remember them going, but I just
so she sends a bunch of troopers in, and he starts.
She goes
screaming.
He sent up the cry, right?
Yeah, he sends out a cry.
Yeah,
and then,
he was broken.
Ramsay's men come.
He was so afraid.
He was completely. He was
Ramsay,
weak.
yeah.
He was completely. I mean, look at what happened to the guy. He was a complete jerk, but that doesn't mean he should.
Yeah.
Ramsay Bolton is a. Whew. I need him to die.
Something tells me though
he's gonna live.
Oh, he's gonna be around.
Though,
his character is too. There's so much to go with on it and to use it for, and there's so many plot lines and so much. John is gonna have to take him down.
Yeah.
Well, it's not, but the best thing would be if
Sansa. Oh, Sansa could kill him. That would be great.
I totally just blanked on who was Jaime. No. The Ironborn son. Theon killed him. We want Theon to kill him, but that would tells me that Ramsay's going to get Theon before Theon will get Ramsay.
Here's the thing, though, with the Ironborn, I don't know. Once they have, right now, their concern is that they don't have a ruler because Balin Greyjoy is dead.
Right.
So his brother is back. Obviously, no one else knows that he killed him. But like they've got too much. They've got things they need to consider right now. That they're not going to leave Pike until they have a ruler. And then at that point, it's all, I mean, I don't know. The thing about the Greyjoys and the thing about the Ironborn is that they raid, they reap and pillage and rape and reave. They do not sow. That is their house motto. We do not sow.
Right.
And so they don't. They don't. I mean, but they don't like for them to venture in to the land was not great in the first place. Like that was not something they normally do. That was Theon's idea, and it failed miserably.
Yeah, that's why they mutinied against him, sort of, right? His men.
That's why. I'm sorry. That's why what?
Remember Theon takes Winterfell, and then there's an army outside of Winterfell, and his fellow Ironborn totally leave him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
is that why?
Well, he didn't they leave him after he. I don't remember at this point, honestly, in the show.
So long ago.
But the thing is, they don't. He was given over to the Starks as a ward.
Yeah.
Which is essentially a hostage.
It's really weird.
What happened is there was a rebellion.
Yeah.
And whenever they were taken by the Greyjoys, by the Ironborn, when they were taken down by Ned, by Robert, by the ruling groups, basically it's like taking a hostage. You
to kind of like keep the peace, right?
Yeah, you have to be nice. You better be nice. We've got your son. We're going to raise him. We're going to be nice. He's going to be raised just like our own kids, with our own kids, whatever.
Yeah.
But he's still your son.
Yeah. And
we can still do what we need to do if that happened. That happened, I mean, that's not uncommon.
Yeah.
There are other instances. I don't know if they've shown it in the show, but there are other instances in the book where they have words like that. And So that was the one thing about, I think Balin said it when Theon came back to Pike, you're not my son. You're as much Ned Stark's son as you are mine. They'd raised him since he was a kid. And even though to Theon, he very much felt that he wasn't part of their family, to his father, he wasn't part of his.
Right.
So there's a whole lot going on there.
Tough love.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
Especially now that his dad's gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the biggest shock to me the whole episode was actually the very end. Now, the actress who plays Daenerys, Emilia Clarke, said, and this is a direct quote.
Oh, right. Yeah.
She would never get naked on Game of Thrones again.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. Well,
Maybe that wasn't her.
That wasn't her. Trust me, that looked fake in CG.
No, so I just looked at cinemablend.com, but they already have an
Do you look up her naked body?
They already had an interview with her, and she says that is not a body double. That is all her.
Wow.
She said she said the last time she was naked was season 3. She said that. So this is a direct quote. Quote: I'd like to remind people the last time I took my clothes off was season 3. That was a while ago. It's now season 6. But this is all me, all proud, all strong. I'm just feeling genuinely happy I said yes. There ain't no body double! Exclamation point.
Okay, I will say
I still believe there's a body double.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it was very.
I mean, it was
The lighting was.
it was a cool image. I mean, say what you will about it.
It's not like she's going to walk out with her clothes on.
Right. And she's standing in fire, and it was a really cool image.
The other thing is that she didn't do gratuitous nakedness, sex, nudity. It's not that kind of nudity.
Yeah.
It is
Exactly.
the imagery.
It's more symbol. A
Mhm.
symbol.
It's
for
a
the
symbolic.
It's an empowering.
It's a symbolic
Yes.
nudity. But
Yeah.
I mean,
And it right.
An artful nudity, shall we say.
Right. It's also a throwback, like we were talking about earlier. It's a throwback to, when the dragon hatched.
Right.
That image of her being powerful and being the mother of dragons.
Right.
It's just to
But
further cement that.
and that's the biggest thing, though. It's like, is that what this season is? Which is, like Christian and Sarah said, that the season's moving a lot faster, right?
Mhm.
Is this
For sure.
season not at the end then becoming kind of just a throwback to all these big major events that are now quick and in your face and are acting as the shockers, if you will?
I don't think so yet.
Yet. I mean, we're episode 4, episode 5 typically, because it's halfway. Something major is going to happen in the next episode because we're halfway there. What do you all think is going to be the major thing?
Just to go back to your point just a second ago about if they are drawing parallels, if they are, it's for a reason. And the good thing is that they're moving so quickly instead of drawing it out. So if they're trying to show parallels to the first season or two, they're moving quickly. They're not drawing it out. So and if that's true, season 5 will be like, okay, so we wanted to show these parallels. Here's why something different. Season. What did I keep saying? 5?
Yeah.
Season 5.
Wow.
Nice.
That is beautiful.
So Ravi, to answer your question, that's a beautiful picture.
You look really good with lipstick.
A little emo there. You gonna go cry in a corner later?
I think the big thing that's going to happen was the one storyline we haven't touched upon yet. The stuff that's happening with Cersei and the small council of the king.
Yes.
With their plan.
Right, she's taking over slowly.
Well, that's what she does.
Well,
Yeah.
the plan to take down the High Sparrow, Jaime's plan, going back to like Jaime being kind of the voice or whatever of just Cersei. So that plan's going to go wrong. I think it's going to have the way this season's gone, it's going to go horribly wrong. Someone's going to die. Things are not going to go well. And I think that's going to be the next big thing in this next episode.
So, are we taking bets on who's going to die? If that's
That's
what
a good idea.
who's going to die in the
I
next
don't know who's going to
episode?
die. I don't feel strongly that anyone's going to die, but I think things are going to get a lot worse with what's going to happen.
No, you don't think that Loras is going to die? 'Cause
I mean,
come on.
If you all want to take a bet, let's a bet. Let's take an educated guess. Like I said, the next episode is the halfway point. Something big is gonna.
Do we know the episode
shit.
title?
It's episode 5. The title is.
The title should be Halftime.
Halftime. The Door.
The Moon Door.
The Moon Door. What is the Moon Door, Sarah?
Really?
Wait,
In the Erie?
where's
Okay.
that?
Oh,
John. Oh, speaking of, we finally saw Littlefinger.
Yeah.
And to be
Finally.
fair,
That kid got tall.
Arjun, did you watch after the episode the scenes for next
The
episode?
promo, yes. So yeah, I watched the promo.
Did we all see the secondary Red Witch in?
Yeah. The
in,
the red priestess
Yeah.
in
She's hot.
Marine. Really?
She's
Because
okay.
you know what happens when she takes off that necklace, right?
She old.
She old. Yeah.
She's Gollum.
Basically.
What her young version is.
No,
Sorry.
no. Let's just go on from there. No, but we finally saw Littlefinger because I think I said that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
seen. We haven't
Littlefinger.
seen him.
When was the last time
season.
we actually saw him before this?
We saw him.
5, like 3, 4.
Well, yeah, we saw him. So before
So early on in season 5.
he went
Okay.
back to King's Landing and told Cersei about the Boltons
and Sansa, right?
and like made it look like there was a double cross or something. I'm going to the interwebs again. Oh, speaking of my previous interwebs, real quickly. The Dothraki, I found it in here. George R. Martin said that they were kind of an amalgam of the Huns and the Mongols.
Oh, okay.
As
So
we
we
were
were
asking
halfway.
for. So,
Nice.
okay, so
The Huns. Okay, that makes sense.
when did we?
Weren't they Mulan?
What?
The
Yes.
Huns? Weren't they the
Oh.
bad guys in Mulan?
No, the Huns.
Yeah, the Huns. The Huns.
It's the Huns.
The Huns.
The Huns.
Huns.
Let's get down
To business.
to defeat. Oh yeah. The
Right.
Huns.
Oh
Oh yeah, it's been so long since I watched
Yep.
Okay, so is there any more thoughts on Game of Thrones? Any more big thoughts? Do you guys want to move on, or is it more stuff?
Real
you
quick,
wanna talk
I just
about?
want to get everyone's opinion on this real quick. So we all seem to like the pacing in this season, but compared to other seasons, does anyone else find it a little bit jarring sometimes?
No.
So it reminds me actually, the only other season that I think went this fast was the first half of season 4,
Mhm.
where a lot of stuff like happened. Season 4 or 5, it might have been 4. The season where that idiot died, the king, Joffrey
Yeah.
died, like episode 2. A lot of things happened like the first half of that season, and then slowed down.
Okay.
And that's what this season kind of reminds me of a little bit, just in terms of it was very jarring to kind of go to that. Back in the first 3 seasons, which moved at a very casual pace, and then it obviously last season was really slow. Episode 1, I mean, even though we talked about how fast it is, like we were all talking about it. Episode 1 was so slow and
Yeah,
nothing
nothing
happened,
happened.
and
Yeah.
so I don't think it's going to stay at this pace. All 10 episodes. I think it will slow down again.
Yeah, I think they're trying to kind
I
of
just think there's
clean things up.
I think exactly like you said, Sarah. They're cleaning house.
They are. They're trying to make it more manageable.
Right.
No, I mean,
They're fixing the
seriously.
storyline.
Because there's too much
George R.
going
R.
on.
Martin. I mean, if
Yeah.
you've read the books,
He has
it's,
more characters than
there
they
is
show
so
in the show,
much
right?
that goes on in the books because you can.
Yeah.
You can, weave a whole huge world.
Do they combine
That
characters for the show?
In a couple of places,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they combine
I've heard that they
characters
might
here and
combine-
there, and
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that idea. For a show. I mean, like if you take a book that has that many characters, yeah, why not combine a couple? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Did anyone else have any other thoughts on GOT?
I still think my theory is based on the promo, and that something major has to technically. Well, it doesn't have to,
it
but
doesn't have to.
traditionally something happens around season
midpoint?
or episode 5. My money is on us saying goodbye to Littlefinger.
No.
Well, now hold on. That's true. Did you see? Wait, the promo.
I don't remember the promo. Wait, the promo that we just saw?
Yes. You just walked in, and there you go.
Wait, what? I missed
Sansa
it.
walked in and Littlefinger finally sees Sansa again.
Oh,
She
I see
is-
what you're
And
saying.
she says, "Did you know about Ramsey?"
She
Right,
is
right.
pissed. And she's not stupid anymore. And she's done being
And
played
she's
with
tough.
and
She's
used.
tougher.
She's seen a
But
lot
she's
and
been
she's
on
figured out that
revenge, for sure.
yeah. Oh, she
I
wants
think
Winterfell
this
back.
is
I'm
the
actually.
end of Littlefinger, which is
Interesting.
fine
I
because
don't know.
what
He's
this
a
really
good
interesting.
survivor. He's kind of like Tyrion though.
right. I mean, the only
he's
downfall
oilier.
to
But
the
his
the
number is up.
the only downfall to
Maybe.
the removal of Littlefinger is that Snow or Jon and Sansa wouldn't have that army, right? Unless
the king,
they're cousins to
technically.
him.
Cousins, yeah.
So
So if they can do it in
And that's
such a
the
way
thing is that
where the king stays
John
on his
Aaron,
side, right?
the kid, the creepy little
kid
who wants to throw everybody out the moon door.
Right.
That's when I say
Will he
the door.
fly? Didn't he say something along like,
I
Should
wanna
we make
them
him fly?
should we make him fly?
Or
Right.
should we make them fly?
I mean, this
It
is a
says
kid
fly,
that
honey.
breastfed
I
on
want to
his
make the
mother's
bad man
teats
fly.
until
The
he was
bad, there we
5
go.
or 6.
I want to make the
Crap.
bad man fly.
I want to make the bad man fly, mummy.
I need my mummy. Wait, that's
Oh,
not
my
good.
roommate.
No, that's not
One of my
true.
good, one of my
There you
good
go.
friends and roommate from college, friend Kendrick, used to just do a great impression of, I want to make the bad man fly. And as our
That's
senior went on,
creepy.
he'd make it more and more ridiculous. Where he was a top bunk and he would just climb down and look at myself and Riley and just make this horrifying.
Wait, hold on.
face.
Did you and Riley share a bed?
That's what that sounded like.
Only sometimes I've heard.
Okay.
It got
Don't let
cold.
him slander you, Riley.
Did you wear that makeup you're wearing in your current picture when you shared your bed?
It's a good picture.
Probably.
Yeah,
I'm an
just
artist.
Just to let all our viewers know, that is a live look in at my face.
Oh man.
At least you can own it.
Yeah, you have a cool
That's
face
not bad.
tattoo. Is that a face tattoo?
Yes,
Pretty
that's supposed to be like
spider?
Mike Tyson's
Oh, okay.
his tattoo
Yeah,
on his
yeah.
face.
I should have made it blue.
Yeah.
That's fine though.
I have a couple
It looks
other
cool
options. I'm gonna make him
He
look
looks
like
kind of
he's from
pale.
New Jersey
He looks
in
kind
a
of
bit.
pale on the
Yeah.
how it's coming through. So
Yeah.
the black works.
Okay, so Game of Thrones is great.
Guat.
So let's,
Assassin's Creed.
Oh, I haven't seen the trailer.
Let's just throw that out there real quick.
Should I just watch it real quick while you guys start talking?
You should.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, watch it.
Let's all take
Well, no,
2 minutes for
we don't want to
Christian.
spoil it for you, so just watch it, Christian.
well, you guys should start talking. I haven't played any of the Assassin's Creed, so if you guys start talking, you're
Yeah,
not
this
gonna...
will be interesting because Christian, you haven't played it or really seen any.
I did play
I
a
feel
little
like
bit
it.
of Black Flag, but
Okay.
and I know
That's
a little
the
bit of the
best one
story
by
because
far.
I
think?
watched Arjuna. I've watched Arjuna
Really?
play. So
Black
and
Flag?
he's actually told me a little bit of the
You just
story.
like the boat.
Yeah.
You like the ship.
The boat's pretty cool.
It's a great boat.
Wait,
blowing
is it
up
called
game and
Unity or
murdering.
Syndicate?
No, just do Assassin's Creed movie trailer.
Oh, movie trailer, right? Fassbender.
Yes. Top one. Nope.
This one?
Second, third one. That one.
Put the volume up here.
And we're all gonna hear it.
Yeah,
Even our viewers.
So
All 6 of them.
we have 6 viewers.
I don't hear any.
6. It was 5.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Wait, I can't hear you. Oh, I don't know why.
Um.
Let me start it again. Put it here. Put this up here.
Play.
All
Hit
right,
play. Let's see. I like this trailer. It's a good trailer. Except, just watch. You tell us your opinion.
Should I have reactions? Live reaction.
Sure.
Pew, pew.
Looks like Magneto.
At 6 p.m. that evening, you were executed and pronounced dead.
Seems like a bad
You no
Tuesday.
longer exist.
What kind of prison is this?
It's not
Oh,
a
wow.
prison. You're about to enter the Animus. What you're about to see, hear, and feel are the memories of your ancestor, who's been dead for 500 years.
Oh, so that's been like the first one.
Well,
Your past. Welcome to the Spanish Inquisition.
I am God, even though I'm a man of God. My whole life in the hand of God. So y'all better quit playing with God.
What?
I should.
You can just do a new picture.
Here.
serve the light. We are assassins.
Oh, that's Kanye's Yeezus album.
That's total that.
Your computer, because you're broadcasting it twice over.
Oh, nice. Even better. Let me mute this, actually.
I just lost my sound.
That was cool. So, correct me if I'm wrong. That seems like...
Hold on.
Second. Something.
That's what I'm
just
saying. We
happened.
lost sound.
Let me go back over here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what just happened there.
Are we?
Oh,
there we
there
go.
we go.
Whoops.
Sorry,
Oopsie. Technical difficulties.
we don't know how to work the
Because
technologies.
Krishna had the YouTube thing going, so it was
Too much?
Krishna broke it, essentially.
Thanks. Well, anyways,
Nice.
so that trailer, so as me who knows next to nothing and I've only watched a couple people play, seems to me it looks like basically the first Assassin's Creed, just movie form. Am I correct?
No, not even close.
So
The first
it's
one
not-
takes place during the early years of the or
Takes
12,
place
1300s?
in Italy, right?
The first one?
Well, I meant the present day stuff. That's
No,
definitely
well, oh, it's
the
present
first
Still
one.
day.
Abstergo. It's still going to be. But the interesting thing is now apparently they can. I don't know. I guess I want to know is Abstergo just finding these people and then framing them so that they can be executed, and then Abstergo has them, which is not something that's been done in the past. Because in the past, they've just
Abducted them.
abducted them, but they weren't thought to be dead. That puts a whole other level.
Well, they
a whole other
first
layer
in
to
the
it,
first
right?
like games with Desmond, and that whole first generation, if you will, they were flat out abducting them. In the more recent games, they're getting them from volunteers because Abstergo
right.
is supposed to be like a video game company.
Exactly. Well, right. So, right. They kind of assimilated into society and are doing it in a different way. I just say, I mean, the trailer looks cool. I just don't like video game movies. Almost never translate well. So I don't honestly have high hopes for the movie. I think if the movie can separate itself more from the video game, like present day storyline, which I think is the weakest part of Assassin's Creed, the better. Just because the present day storyline, in my opinion, is so bad in Assassin's Creed, I just wish I could skip over it every time. I just want to play in the timepiece. I don't care. I just don't care about it. It's a waste of time. It almost detracts me from buying the games itself, just because
It pulls you out of the
Whoa,
experience.
whoa. You're telling me the bad present day storyline as opposed to the glitches stops you from buying those games?
No, I mean
That's weird.
No, I'm saying it's a big reason. I think it's the only reason. But the present day storyline is I think if Ubisoft is listening to our podcast,
Yeah, that's
so
one other person.
They need a new hobby then, if that's the case.
well, that's true. But I just feel like that. I mean, not to go on a tangent, which I have, but for the video games, need to fix that. But I guess Michael Fassbender is I'm a fan of his work.
Well,
I'm very excited about it.
Fassbender. You all know Fassbender is a producer on this as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's
And
interesting.
they typically Fassbender, when he's doing work, he doesn't do the producing. He doesn't push himself to do that unless he's truly dedicated, or that's what the internet, if you will, says about him. So
Do you think he's played the
That's
game?
true.
he
doesn't strike me as the video game
He doesn't seem like the video game type.
Maybe.
So that's not true. I read an interview that said before he took the gig, he had never played the video game franchise, but to kind of research the role,
Yeah.
he played some of the video games,
Some of them.
which means
But play them,
it's
but
obviously vague. He could have played 10 minutes,
yeah.
or he could have played 10 days. Who knows?
No. What he
So-
did was he went on Twitch or one of those video game streams and just had that up. Some kid or whatever playing.
I think he acted like
He
the
acted
character that
like-
I saw on the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
He's like running around. He's like
Once
jumping
you
up and down.
play this Assassin's game,
I'm getting into character.
Right.
Hey, my daddy's coming
I
to
need to get more water. In
I'm
this.
just
Okay.
excited
Yeah, I'll
about
get
the
you guys.
prospect of some really good parkour, like game style, really good, not like The Office where they fall through a refrigerator.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Oh,
I don't know.
Go on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Assassin's Creed, so I can't really.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
So-
I am excited about it.
Yeah. So as a fan, as not a fan of Assassin's Creed, the trailer looked interesting enough where I would probably want to check that out in theaters for sure. The visuals look cool, the action looked cool. Fassbender,
Like you don't
almost
know,
never
you
steered
don't,
me
you,
wrong.
You don't know everything about.
I know next to nothing, obviously. But just from that trailer, it looked interesting enough where I at least would be willing to. I mean, obviously, depending on what the early reviews say, because
I don't care what the reviews say.
yeah, I do for something that I have no idea about. If that for me,
You have you're not personally invested in that.
Exactly.
So that makes sense.
If it was, I wouldn't care. But since I'm not, like, it looks cool enough where I look at it. If it gets like a 60 or better, I'm going to see it in theaters. If it's fresh, basically on Rotten Tomatoes.
See, I don't really care what Rotten Tomatoes says if I want to see it, but
Absolutely.
again, it makes sense.
Just for that for me. But based on that trailer, if I didn't look at Rotten Tomatoes and didn't know it, and it was out already, and you're like, you want to go see it, I'd be like, yeah, why not? So, but yeah,
it definitely looks better than your run-of-the-mill video game movie. I know it had two major ones either coming out. I mean, they had the Ratchet and Clank movie that came out last month or this month or whatever, and you obviously have the Warcraft movie coming out this year. I mean, video game movies, it still hasn't. I guess the most successful one would be Tomb Raider, financially. But
Wait, the Lord.
just
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's.
how did
let's
Prince
be
of
real.
Persia do?
Who?
Terribly.
Is it film?
Well, I meant
Well, the
in
Prince
the
of
box
Persia was
office.
white, so let's.
Yeah. I just said
Jake
how much
Gyllenhaal.
money did it bring?
Yeah.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal, but
Prince
come
of
on.
Persia.
Yeah, you get on
not-
10. He could.
Come on.
I'm kidding.
No, that's not even.
I was just wondering how that movie did.
a lot of them do badly because I mean to make you spend so much money on like a Prince of Persia or whatnot, or even the Tomb Raider sequel, which didn't do as well as the original.
Yeah,
They're action movies, and action movies obviously cost a good amount of money.
Yeah,
and none of them do well, and especially like in today's box office where it's $1 billion or bust. For these high octane action movies that are costing $100 to $200 million to produce.
yeah.
I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 2 made $770 million, but that wasn't enough to save it for Sony.
Well,
Well, also networks have nice.
thank you.
Have networks or not networks? Studios have higher
You're a
expectation
pretty
now
princess, Arjuna.
for their films and
Well,
so
exactly.
forth.
So, right. You kind of just fall into two tiers now of like
Hard
you're
to
either a
see.
blockbuster $1 billion breaker or you're like a artsy independent-esque movie that's going to bring in some awards essentially.
Well, it's hard to
It's really
see.
come down to that.
You get an impression though.
He has blonde hair in that picture. I don't think you can actually see that, but Arjuna has some pretty princess blonde hair.
And eyelashes.
I gave him eyelashes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was running low. I had
Just a quick, I think a pretty interesting statistic because I didn't know this until very recently.
Like
They'll
2
never
seconds
stop. No, I wanted to confirm it 2 seconds ago. I don't want to be spying on my bottom. They'll never stop making video game movies though, because traditionally video games outsell movies about 2 to 1.
and it's a
every
built-in
year.
audience.
Yeah, exactly. So if they get a video game, if they make a movie, on a video game, you don't likely have that entire thing. But if you can make a good movie where you pull in new
Well,
people, you would think it would
It's
make
exactly
a lot.
what we were talking about, though. You're not invested in Assassin's Creed at all.
But
You
if it's a
played
good
it and
movie,
watched it. If
That's
it's a good movie, you'll enjoy it. But
Yeah.
for me or for people who have played it and watched it, are familiar with it, and like the storyline and actually enjoy the Assassin's Creed world, it's gonna happen no matter what. Like, I'm gonna go watch that. What did you change?
I tried drawing lines so it
Darker
looks
hair?
like that. So it gives
An outline.
volume, not volume.
Trying to volumize his hair.
Volumize the hair. Right?
Quick,
Nice.
quick question, actually. I don't know if anyone knows this. So when they make video game movies, how much input into the movie did the video game studios get?
I would assume very little.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
It's
they're
not
not.
a lot
They're
Okay.
not
because like
going to make
Right.
something that
I mean,
doesn't
like-
follow with the plot of the games, that completely goes off the rails because people
Yeah.
aren't going to watch it. You're going to lose your entire audience. there.
Right.
But I feel like
Probably not much.
they're
right?
not. Yeah, they may pull from some of it, but
Well,
like
right.
with this one, this
Right.
Assassin's Creed, they've never done the Spanish Inquisition.
Mhm.
Um,
No,
different
no,
games.
that's a lie. They did.
wait, they did?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2
Did this?
takes place in Italy, but
Oh, okay.
or one of the
Well,
sequels
okay.
or whatever
regardless,
to that.
he's not playing. It's not like they went in and said, "Okay, you're Ezio, be
Gotcha.
Ezio," or he's not playing a character that we're familiar with.
Okay.
So it
interesting.
could go in. They can
Any way
go
they
almost
want,
anywhere
which
with
is
it. They're
fine.
keeping the
Play it
premise of the Assassin's Creed world,
Templars
and that you
versus
could the
Assassins.
Templars versus the Assassins, and then that you are like taking someone's ancestor using an Abstergo is taking them and putting them into the.
Animus.
Thank you. Sorry, they're using the Animus to then go back and pull up their ancestors' memories,
Or the Oculus Rift.
or the
Ooh,
Animus Rift,
There you go.
Animus.
the Animagus. Oh no.
Animagus.
Anyway, so that's Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed.
Yeah.
That was the first trailer. Kind of interesting.
I like it.
On
I
a
like it,
quick
yeah.
side note, we will be doing at some point, right, reaction videos, if you will, to trailers.
Maybe,
Maybe,
yeah.
probably.
That look
I don't
fun.
know.
Yeah, why
or
not?
at least
Maybe.
discussions.
I've seen some pretty fun ones.
Wait, reaction videos or trailers?
Reaction videos and
Oh.
trailers, but I'm talking about reaction videos in this case.
I still think we should do a reaction video of Oz. It would
Pretty
pretty much be
To
him
be clear,
walking away.
Oz is the cat. He's lying on the floor right now, kind of spread eagle, oblivious to
Wow.
everything.
He's a big
very
old cat.
Fat.
It's a big old cat.
I'm really surprised.
So no,
Jason didn't
reaction.
point us
His
to the
reaction is
table.
going to be this.
Yeah, seriously.
You know,
Yeah.
speaking of
Maybe.
speaking,
And that's just because he wants food.
speaking of reactions, that was probably the world's reaction when they canceled Agent Carter.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that most of the
no.
world was like, meow, and moved on. Nobody cared.
I liked
I
Agent Carter.
think-
I
I
like
do
it.
want to get.
good.
I do want to get into some of the
Cancellation.
cancellations and renewal talk.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Agent Carter is I liked it, but to be fair, it's not moving the universe. It's not moving the Marvel Cinematic Universe forward
No,
because they're just
it's in
telling
the
stories about
past.
the past. And the any information we can glean from Agent Carter about this, oh, we saw this, oh, that makes sense now. They can bring that up in other stuff. We don't. It's not there to push it forward. It's just to
wanna
tell nice
say-
stories that I really like. But yeah, I guess I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
I do want to say what's interesting. ABC deciding to pass on Marvel's Most Wanted, and then also in canceling Agent Carter, just kind of the ABC side of stuff. With the Marvel universe just not doing as well as the movies or even the Netflix shows. I do, and I think we kind of touched on this last week. I do think season 4 might be the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know how much further you can really go with that type of show.
Well, they renewed it already. They renewed it way back in, I think,
No, right, for
November,
sure.
December, season 5.
But for season 5,
Yes.
Really? Wait, what season are we on right now? We're on 3.
season 3.
Oh, never mind. That's what I
No,
meant.
season
Season
4.
4, they got renewed for. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So we know it's coming back, but I wouldn't be surprised if either is reduced for season 5 or just kind of ended. Maybe discussed to end it in season 4. Just because I think you're getting to the point where
Well,
No,
well, the bigger thing is you're getting to the point where the show and the movie are drifting in the sense that what's happening on the show is not a result of what happened in the movie. It's
Right.
its own thing.
there's a disconnect.
There's a huge
certainly a
disconnect.
The fact
Which,
that there were 2.
but hold on, but the bigger thing is with this season with Sky and with the whole Inhumans and all of that, it's coming up to a wrapping up to an end. This whole thing is kind of a big jump on of everything that happened. It wouldn't have happened if Hydra didn't come out of the woodworks because of Captain
and Winter
America
Soldier.
and Winter Soldier.
And now
So
Hydra's
once this wraps
effectively-
up, Right, exactly. But once this wraps up, and once we're now gearing towards the whole phase 3 and all that fun stuff, now you can look to the whole Doctor Strange. You can look to the whole Black Panther stuff. You can look to the whole Captain Marvel, Thor Ragnarok, whatever the hell they do with the Hulk,
or don't do,
or
pull
whatever.
into a side story or something else.
I feel like there are still stories, because I also look at it this way. And if you compare Agent Carter to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter takes place in the past.
Right.
In the sense that there isn't any new information technically that can come out of that would not have already come out, if that makes sense.
Or that we can't pull about in just a cutscene.
Exactly.
With we found
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is happening
whatever.
concurrently with the Marvel Cinematic
Right.
Universe. So as things are happening, for example, I'm not saying this is happening. Let's say the next Marvel movie, there's a giant alien attack from the Kree, and now the entire planet is enslaved for a year. Yes, there's going to be a show about all of that, because the whole planet was captured for a year or whatever.
However, the flip side of that is we just had an episode.
Not saying that's happening. This is just
examples.
Abby, what do you know?
No, but then the flip side of that is we just had an episode where there were actually 2 Kree on Earth, and nothing,
there's no mention of it.
There's no mention. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
That was the closest thing we've come to an alien invasion since the first Avengers.
Season 1.
And that's why.
Nobody said anything.
That's why I had secretly what I want to happen.
Oh, no. It's no longer secret. Hold on. It's no longer secret when you say it.
Okay, so
Just know that.
my wish list.
You may have ruined this.
My wish list
hold
for
on.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
We
real
lost
quick.
a watcher.
That's fine.
Damn it.
They
aren't watching. I'm cursing them.
My wish list for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Ooh, and another one.
Into phase 4 is that we get the Kree, or maybe we get the Skrull, and we get them on Earth, and we get them more involved in the everyday life of Earth, and that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. warps into, I don't know, Agents of S.W.O.R.D. being an offshoot of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
whose specific purpose is to
extraterrestrials
and that.
I do not know much about that, so that
I
seems
feel
pretty
like
cool,
that's.
though.
I mean,
they may not
that's
call it. Do you think
stretching
they'll
it.
bring it in and call it Sword, or do you
No,
think they'll
probably
just
not. They'll
Shield?
call it S.H.I.E.L.D., which is
because
fine,
that's
but
already established.
Right,
The thing is,
exactly.
you
That'd
don't
be pretty
introduce
cool.
an entire new
Yeah, I like that.
entity.
Because then
I will say,
yeah.
talking about S.H.I.E.L.D. and just, hopefully everyone's very aware that there are so many spoilers. We're going to talk about the shows that came on this past week. If you haven't seen them yet, don't.
Which is me.
Stop listening.
But I
Don't stop
watched
watching.
them anyway, so.
Don't stop watching. Just mute it. 'Cause- damn, we've been back down to 4. We were back and forth. This one person starts to watch and then goes, and then comes 5 again.
Where are you checking?
Anyway,
So
I'm
for
magic and psychic. I can just.
Because where I'm viewing it through, I've got listed at 5. So
interesting. I'm showing 4.
It keeps dropping back and forth. And
back
Krishna
to
might
4.
be the. There you go. See? Yep. Anyway, so
What if it's
spoiler.
Arjuna?
Stop.
Just going.
How many browsers do you have open, Arjuna?
We're about to
But back to what we were saying is there are spoilers all over the place, right? So
Sure.
this is about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this past week. I'm really, really glad that Daisy is back. That she is no longer part of Hive, that she's no longer infected with the what are they, nanocytes essentially?
The Hive.
Parasites.
The parasites with their little nano. Anyway, I'm glad that's done because that was getting old. Because we know that's not her nature. That she truly. They've developed her character, and that was totally against it. So but I'm also really, really glad that. And Krishna, you don't watch the show as much, right? You don't watch it at all.
At all.
Okay, so you don't have to pretend to look at me like you.
No, because it's still.
But
I know a little bit.
I'm
but not
glad
much.
that Lash, I'm glad that they tied that up nicely. He's done. They aren't keeping him in, cold storage anymore or whatever, but that he was able to play a part and that he didn't end up being the worst bad guy that we thought he was. He had his purpose and whatever. And he was able to, I don't know how they're going to use anything from that though to to fight back against Hive, because it's not like they can harness Lash's power, and he's gone. So it's not like it was something. It's not like that blue, whatever lightning, whatever that blue force was that he basically.
The Speed Force.
It's not the Speed Force. We'll get to that in a minute.
Zoom.
We'll get to the DC universe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was all
Stop
the
with the
same.
talking. It's you're funny. But no, I'm glad that Lash was able to be useful and to have a good ending. But I'm really I guess it helps that they know Hive can be beaten to an extent, but I don't know how they're going to really. If they can study Lash and his power, because Lash is gone. Like his
to go off your further point, I kind of just realized this. Marvel in general really likes the mind control in their movies. The first two Avengers, Captain America, the TV show. They really just like the characters that are mind control and don't have any say over their actions.
No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I control you.
Well, I mean, it's easier to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Mind control.
Well, not in the case of Loki. It's still not low budget because that's some massive effects. But I mean, mind control, they do though, because my favorite Marvel, and I'm speaking outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and to actual like Marvel comic books and Marvel world. One of my favorite characters, because I'm an X-Men fan. I'm an X-Men's. I'm an X-Men fan. X-Men's.
I like X-Men's.
And I'm a Dark Phoenix fan. Comics Dark Phoenix more so than
Dark Phoenix is a bad guy, right?
she's not.
She's a bad
She's
guy.
a Phoenix.
Wait, isn't the Phoenix kind of bad?
There's no.
The Phoenix
no,
is
Jean
bad.
Grey
It
is
wants
not
to
bad.
destroy
No,
the
the
whole
Phoenix
universe.
Jean Grey's not, but I thought
But yeah,
once it
the
becomes
Phoenix
the
Force.
Phoenix.
But I still like the Dark Phoenix. But yeah, the Phoenix Force is inherently a
It's a bad thing.
Is Dark
That's great.
Phoenix worse than Phoenix?
Well, Phoenix is there's the what do they call it? The Light Phoenix when she's in green. That's
Right.
not. She's not bad. I think that's more when she is in control versus the Phoenix Force being in control of her.
Ah.
Anyway,
I don't remember my 90s cartoon X-Men.
Oh, the
Lord.
best X-Men.
So good.
oh, that's okay. I'm in the middle of reading some X-Men, Uncanny X-Men right now, and we'll discuss. Well, I guess we won't because you guys haven't read it.
Well, you can still talk, and we'll just
And you'll just smile and
We'll
nod.
just nod like weirdos.
or
Read
ask
it,
a lot
I'll
of
make all
really
of you
ridiculous questions.
Read
Like I'm
it,
going to
and
ask
then we
right
can
now.
talk about it.
I'm going to ask
Nope,
right now
nope.
a ridiculous question.
About what?
I
not
think it's
answering.
related to Marvel of Agents Marvel
Agents
Agents
of
of Shield.
Agents of Shield. Yes.
What is the relationship between Inhumans and Kree? Somebody explain that to me
Okay,
real
so
quick.
I'm
Doesn't
going to
have to be
explain
long.
because Robbie's drawing, and he forfeits
I'm
the
an
right to
artist.
explain. Arjuna better look amazing when you get.
Oh, he does. Wow.
Perfect. So the Inhumans,
Yeah.
I'm a beautiful lady.
based on you're a pretty princess.
Pretty
Oh,
close.
you're not a lady.
Based on the current Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is
Yeah.
what we're going to discuss, right?
Yeah.
So the Inhumans were experiments by the Kree
Gotcha.
1,000 years ago. So they
1,000
they
years
came
ago.
to Earth. It was 1,000 years ago.
That's
wasn't it?
that's also in the Marvel comics.
I know, but
They're-
I don't know. I'm not sure how much it varies from it, so that's why I can only completely.
I have a
speak
follow-up
right now.
question after this.
Okay, so let me get to this, and it
Absolutely.
may answer it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what they did is they found they tested with humans, infusing them with Kree blood,
Because that's safe.
right? And they actually, this character now who has come back, who is the first Inhuman, the first one they did the experiments on.
I'm pissed.
He is. Well, he became too powerful. They didn't think they could control him. He scared them. So they banished him to this other planet through this like dimension, through this portal, I mean. And so long story short, he is now back.
Okay. Cool.
Not to even talk about how he got there,
Yeah.
how many, he inhabits, he's a parasite. And it basically, instead of him being one single being, he is literally made up of these little nanocyte.
No, not nanocytes.
Not nanocytes.
Parasites.
No, but they're nano.
Like little
they
tiny
call them
little.
nanocytes, I believe. Because he can,
Wait, is it
kind of
nanocytes? If you say nanos.
nano being tiny
Okay.
portions, particles, because he can basically like throw his arm as in small particles
Is that
or
his
blow
power,
it at
kind
him.
of?
Well, those little nanocytes, this parasite that he can then infect others with it, and it actually affects the brain.
Yeah.
And so it makes the it infects like the pleasure centers of the brain, and it makes the other Inhumans that he infects compliant to him, and it gives him a sense of well-being, like they belong, and like a happiness that they're there and they want to do his bidding.
So are the Inhuman powers kind of like a mutant powers?
Kind of, yeah.
That's my.
And I think that's kind of because Marvel doesn't have the rights to the X-Men and the mutants. You won't hear them say mutants, but when you look at the powers, a lot of them
or similar.
Well, it's just you see.
So
if you've read the comics or if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So that
where you're like, oh, that's kind of like this.
Yeah. So my follow-up question was this actually. So in the comics, since they don't have the same issues, now obviously it's the same company as Marvel, but is there any interaction between mutants and Inhumans that you know of in the comic books?
Yeah, they're called the X-Men and the Inhumans.
Is there like a war? Or?
Yeah, they have a battle a couple times. They're like,
they
hey,
do.
I don't like you. And they're like, hey, I don't like you either.
So
I don't know. There's a lot of interaction
that's
though, because there's Avengers versus X-Men.
All right, who would win in a battle? Apocalypse or the first Kree? Since they seem similar, the first mutant versus the first. I mean,
but you
not
mean
the first
Inhuman?
Inhuman. That's what I meant. So
Who
the first
is,
mutant,
by the way, named Hive, or they've called him Hive because it's like a hive mind kind of.
I'm just trying to get a thing for
of
powers. So if Apocalypse was to face off against that first Inhuman, my mistake.
I don't know. The interesting thing about Hive is the way he controls others, but his control doesn't reach to humans. It's only in isn't it?
It's just.
Have they tried?
It's just in humans.
Yeah, it's just in humans because of the nature of their pre-blood, whatever.
Oh my God, Arjuna!
I'll wait until
just
it
wait
up.
for this.
I can see the edge of the. Oh, don't. Anyway, I don't know because Apocalypse. Apocalypse is not limited in the way that Hive is.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Also, Apocalypse can't be killed.
Yeah, Hive could be killed. Nice. It's like a.
That's beautiful.
Are you seeing that, Juna?
That is pretty amazing.
That is the look you must go for. You need a lipstick your lips. You need contacts that kind of cloud your eyes.
You're gonna have to coif your hair.
You need to become really gaunt, and you have to grow out your beard.
And
also get some wrinkles.
Paint your skin orange.
Yeah, so just go in the sun a lot, and all of that will happen.
I don't even know what to do with that.
And obviously the emo look, the bang.
The swift.
Yeah.
The bang, bang, the bang, the bang.
You want
the
bang, 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 bang,
bang,
bang,
bang.
I'd like to talk about the other side of the TV shows, the DC TV shows.
All right.
Specifically, Supergirl.
Oh,
and I thought it's interesting that it's moving to the CW and kind of joining a little bit more the Flareverse and the possibilities we see there. Ravi and Sarah, I know you guys are very up to date with Flash and Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, so it's Christian all of a sudden?
No, I know nothing. I just have one very quick question. CW, what is it, and why is it significant if a show moves to the CW?
Okay, the CW is part of Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
It used to be the WB. I don't know exactly why they changed it to CW.
You remember I used to watch Smallville?
Yes.
Smallville used to be on the WB, which is now the CW.
Gotcha.
The interesting thing, the CW, it's always really pretty people.
Very pretty people. That's
Really
why I
pretty.
used to star on the CW.
But luckily, lately, with the DC comic shows that they're doing, that's not a hindrance, and it's not all just really pretty. I mean, it's just actual good storylines. They're really doing a great job with Flash and with Arrow. I know that, but they have pretty consistently.
So those are CW shows, huh?
They've pretty consistently done a good job. I like DC Legends of Tomorrow as well. It's highly entertaining.
To be honest,
well, that's because of time travel and who's playing Captain Hunter. I mean, of course you're gonna like that.
To be honest, I don't watch any of these shows, and I have no interest to. But I did
see. You don't watch Doctor Who either, so I don't want to talk to you.
But I did. But that being said, I did watch the pilot episode of Legends with Arjuna, and was mildly intrigued. Like I was like, okay, did I watch the second episode too?
Yeah, and then we're gonna binge watch it.
I
think I agreed. I was like, I'll binge watch that with you.
And what's interesting is, especially this past week, right? The most recent episode of Legends of Tomorrow budget-wise, it looks expensive.
Yeah.
Very
Every
more
episode-
expensive than anything I feel like Arrow or the Flash has done.
Every episode of Legends of Tomorrow is pretty massive.
Yeah.
I
I mean, it's
And
because
it's
you've got like a mini Justice League, if you will, like Justice League E level.
yeah, they're
Essentially.
kind of like they're like the bad guys. It's kind of
Anti-heroes kind of.
anti-heroes.
It's Firefly. It's a bunch of like different science
I was gonna
fiction
say
things.
it's
and-
like Suicide Squad, only not so crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
cool.
it's a group of like some of them are more hero type, and some of them are definitely not.
Yeah.
And that's actually what makes it
Like the
interesting.
Atom, he seems pretty nerdy.
The Atom is very hero type. Ray is
little
very
nerdy.
Ray Palmer is very nerdy hero, total nerd.
Superman, ex-Superman.
Oh no.
What's
That
his
is
name?
funny.
Brendan.
Brendan Ralph.
Bro.
Ralph?
He's pretty funny. Wait, so real
Ralph, I
quick, we saw. So
Oh,
again,
sorry.
I know nothing about these characters, but we saw a panel. We went to WandaCon,
Mhm.
and we saw a panel with some of the League of Legends.
League of
League of
Legends.
Legends. I like that.
League of Legends. I'm
League of
sorry.
Legends.
Not the video game. Legends of Tomorrow cast, and first of all, very entertaining group of people, all by themselves. Who's the guy who pairs with the old guy to become the Heat guy?
Yes, that guy.
Oh my gosh! Why
That's
am
the
I
extent of my
put me
knowledge.
on the spot. I can't.
He,
think.
we had-
Hang on.
we- I had no idea he was
they
English.
They formed five.
And it was like
Right.
London
It's,
slang. It was great.
Oh yeah, I honestly, because I hadn't looked, I didn't realize he was British.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
like,
really cool.
whoa! We all just, I think Robbie and I looked at each other like, okay,
Yeah.
you go, little
He's,
mate. Good, well done,
France.
Franz.
Nice.
Yeah, he plays Jefferson.
I don't know how to pronounce his. Anyway, he plays Jax. So it's him and Victor Garber, who is
Right.
And that's an amazing
They're
the
great.
casting right there. They're opposite.
I was just gonna say.
and it's
top notch.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
I'm
the guy who
sorry,
plays the
that's this
Atom.
whole-
He is a nerd playing a nerd disguised as another nerd. Like it's just a nerd. I like
Does that
I
make
like
you
that
feel
even more.
loved and accepted in the universe?
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
It was
Me
pretty
too.
cool. I was like, nice, good for that.
No, but
guy.
it's I don't know. I quite like the show. Have we heard anything about whether or not it's going to be picked up next season? I know that the upfronts are
It
this
is coming
coming
back for
week.
season 2.
It is?
Mhm.
Yes.
They confirmed that a while ago.
but
Okay, I
it is
hadn't-
not
I
going
was
to be
hoping.
the same people.
Oh, no, They've already.
It's going. They'll be changing.
Where's your power?
They
Think
said
so?
that. They
I
said
have it.
that
Oh,
they said this at the
okay.
panel. They did allude to this at the panel. It's not going to
It's
be
okay, I
an
don't think
over.
anything-
They're not going to completely change the team because there was speculation every season the team will be completely different.
Mhm.
But you'll see tweaks, and you see the same thing in Flash and Arrow. There are
Right.
tweaks to a team.
Well, there always
Probably,
are.
like two or three new characters, 2 or 3 characters that are gone or dead
And
or
haven't they-
whatever.
Haven't they already
the end.
said that they're the antagonists, that everything is like they're done with this storyline? They're ending the
Yeah,
storyline in the
it's
season.
going to wrap up. So the Vandal Savage storyline will be
Yeah.
completely wrapped up by the end of the season.
And much as I actually like
Kinda
Vandal
cool.
Savage as a character. I mean, I think what was the animated one that we watched? Vandal Savage. Was it just an episode of? Okay, fine. Obviously, I don't remember things. Anyway, I like Vandal Savage as a character. I like the concept of Vandal Savage as this man who just does not die. But I'm glad he does not die in the comics. I don't know if they kill him or just somehow put him away, because it hasn't made it to the end of the season yet. But I'm ready to be done with the storyline. And I can't help it. But I know that Arthur Darvill's name in this is Rip Hunter, but I can't help calling him Dr. Rory because he is very much. He was okay. Christian just gave me a look.
Yeah. Is that Doctor Who?
So Arthur Darvill, who plays Rip Hunter, who is the Time Master,
He looks
former
so
Time
familiar.
Master in this. He was one of the companions.
Yes, I knew
in
it. I knew I had seen him.
Doctor
twice.
Who.
I don't
He
watch
was-
Doctor Who,
yeah. Dr.
but
Hugh.
Hugh. But these guys watched it enough where I've
And so,
seen clips of episodes. So,
So
I knew he
just
looked
keep,
familiar.
I keep looking at it going, oh, look,
Yeah.
Dr. Rory. So I apologize if Arthur Darvill ever sees this.
Wait,
I
who was this?
I think you're great. So it makes me happy to watch him in this. And I like what they've done with it, all of it. So, Flash. What?
Oh,
Flash.
Like a camera was going to Flash was interesting. Move on.
Oh, really?
I mean, it was directed by Kevin Smith. It was a very Kevin Smith
I liked
episode.
it. I
I heard it was really good.
And,
I haven't
It was
seen
good.
it.
I like Kevin Smith.
I don't know.
I'm a fan,
That was about
so-
it. I mean, the whole thing with Barry, the Speed Force, and now the Speed Force is like,
Yeah,
I don't
but
know,
fine. He gets
angels
it
or
now,
some
and
bull.
it's not angels. It's not. That was not the point. The point was they were trying to give themselves a form that he would not be uncomfortable with, and that would help get through to him.
They stole that from Stargate.
Fine. But we've already talked about Stargate. Let's move on.
Fun.
All right.
Speaking of Kevin Smith, I don't know if anyone, quick aside, quick tangent.
Never
He got
quit.
tangent, but did you guys know he was thrown off a flight in 2010 for being too fat?
Wait, Kevin Smith?
Wait, what?
No, we're moving on.
No.
Just blast past this. Well, no. Let's move on here.
I'm not talking about anybody being fat.
Do you guys kind of want to wrap the show? Is there anything major you want to get on?
Wait, did
Well,
we talk about
just
Arrow?
the
Did we
big
talk-
no.
Oh, you want to talk about Arrow?
The big
All right.
thing. The big thing, obviously, is Supergirl coming to the CW
Right.
before. So,
Oh, yeah, you did ask why.
to answer your question, CBS was originally doing the Supergirl show. They had they got the rights or whatever from Warner Brothers to do Supergirl. Supergirl technically takes place in another dimension or another universe from Arrow and Flash. Supergirl and Flash had a crossover episode because it's been established in the Flash that there are multiverses.
Yep.
And Flash and Supergirl had a crossover in Supergirl.
And it's alluded to in Batman vs. Superman a little bit with those flashbacks or flash forwards.
Ooh, no,
With
Batman
Flash-
versus
With
Superman's
Flash
part of-
traveling back in time to show
Well-
this future that looks
well,
really weird.
yeah,
Hey,
but-
I'm just saying.
No, but that's a kind of a separate. That they're not the same Flash and.
I mean,
Yeah.
this
But
question
it could be
this-
multiverse.
Right,
In the
right.
movie,
I would
so.
bet
This
on
quite-
multiverse, so
thi-
that's a kind of
okay.
separate thing.
All right, never mind. I lied.
This question's been asked. This question's been asked a lot, which is, can the cinematic universe of DC and the TV shows of DC can they cross
Coexist.
over? And I forget, and I apologize, I forget the executive producer. He did say something essentially, and I'm paraphrasing. He said something along the lines of, "Yes, DC is known in the comics for multiverse.
Yeah.
It would be really cool, but that being said, that's kind of a stretch with today and how today is." Viewership, if you will, views things.
Exactly. It could happen. It probably won't, though.
Exactly. But anyway,
They're never going to say no. But
right. But that being said, with the CW getting Supergirl, the CW and CBS with the Flash and Supergirl showing that the two of them have traveled back and forth. It's not to say that Supergirl will necessarily come into that same universe, but there could be more further crossovers with Supergirl, Flash,
and
Arrow.
also, right. So the CW, I just looked it up. The reason the move is so seamless, the CW is 50% owned by Warner Brothers, 50% by CBS.
Right.
So it's
Oh.
very easy to move the
There
show.
we go.
Well,
So what
also they're also moving production for Supergirl from
To
Los
Vancouver.
Angeles to Vancouver.
Which will be right in the same lot as
Yeah.
Flash, Arrow, and
Which
Yeah.
makes it
So
easier
that-
for crossovers and
so
whatnot.
logistically, a crossover
That's
is very
way
easy
better
now
then.
instead of having
For those
So
shows.
you can
Grant
find
Austin
sure.
or to travel over to Los Angeles for that episode.
So what's even bigger is you can actually say that DC has kind of done what comic book nerds around the world have wanted for the longest time, which is get your favorite comic book characters on the television
together.
and they're getting it cohesive.
Enough.
You've
Yeah.
got essentially the CW, I'm predicting, if you will. They've got by the end of next year or the next season, we can hopefully comfortably say they have 4 DC comic book shows running successfully,
Yeah.
where they're all intertwining
will.
with each
They-
other. So
They will have those 4 shows probably Monday through Thursday, all running for at least one season. None of them obviously have a renewal order past their
Right.
next seasons, but for 1 year, we will be able to say there were 4 superhero shows in the same,
network.
Same universe.
that existed
Same-
within
in the
on the
same
same network,
network.
within the same
Running-
continuity,
hmm
to together. And I think that's huge.
That's impressive.
The
because-
biggest.
At the same time,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So not even like back to back to back to back. It's all at the same time.
Right.
Wow.
Ongoing. So does that
Impressive.
mean you're going to start watching them? Because you
I
got a lot
might.
catching
I
up to
might.
do
I mean, if I'm gonna
summer.
watch League of Legends, I probably have to.
Okay.
It sounds like.
Legends
sorry.
of
Legends of
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get the names right, Krishna.
I think, honestly, I'm debating on whether you should kind of binge watch
Just binge watch
Flash
everything.
and Arrow
Yes.
first, and
All
then
right.
catch up with Legends of Tomorrow.
Basically-
I almost called it League of Legends. Ah!
Basically,
Sorry.
basically
My
it goes Arrow,
Arrow,
Flash,
Flash,
Legends
Legends
of
of
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Do you need to watch
Um,
Supergirl?
We don't
No.
actually watch Supergirl.
We don't. I know. You know what?
Which is
Probably
bad because they have
should.
Red Tornado of
Okay.
all the people
I
in
will.
the universe.
We will watch.
Yeah, we
we'll
should watch that.
start watching.
Cool.
Supergirl.
Yes.
Okay,
You might
Especially
have
if
to
they're bringing
go
it to
in.
CW, we need to know.
let's wrap it up.
Let's share some final thoughts. Just things we've seen throughout the last week or so that are interesting. Things that we didn't get to hit on. I'll start. So one thing that was just announced a few days ago. Some more casting for Black Panther.
Ooh,
Yeah, saw that.
Wait,
I saw
I didn't
that
see
too.
this. Talk to me.
Michael
So
B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan has just been cast in Black Panther, who is a frequent collaborator with the director Ryan Coogler, who directed Fruit Battle Station. Watched it on Netflix, great watch by the way, and Creed, where he played Adonis Creed.
Yeah.
So I mean, the cast is already getting
Awesome.
great. You have Chadwick, you also have Chadwick
He's in
in Black
Fantastic
Panther.
Four.
You have Michael B. Jordan, and you also have reportedly Lupita Nyong'o, the Disney darling
Wait, quick question.
herself.
Real quick question on that. No conflict of interest there, since he's already been in a Marvel, Fantastic Four horrible movie.
The casting
allegedly.
confirms to
Yeah.
me that there's no way if another Fantastic Four movie is coming out of Fox anytime soon.
All right, word. Cool.
Well-
That's what that confirms in my mind. Because if there was contractually the way those contracts are written,
So they
they
probably
wouldn't be able to appear.
They've given
those
up on it,
contracts
maybe.
have been ripped up at that, which is interesting because one of the producers of the movie said they still wanted to do a Fantastic Four sequel,
Really?
but with Michael B. Jordan signing on with Disney and obviously probably signing like a 20-film deal of some type.
And speculating that he's a villain, actually.
Wow. You're right. He's supposed to be a
Wait,
villain.
Michael B.
That-
Jordan?
He's supposed to be a villain.
I think that would be amazing.
Okay.
No, I think that would be amazing.
He's a great
That-
actor,
I
but I
think
can't,
that would
I
be.
can't see him as a villain.
That's the thing. If he can pull that off,
It'll be great.
oh yeah.
But he's such a
And
good
he's the
guy,
one-
though.
the one that sneaks up.
Marvel needs some villains. I mean, to be
You know,
Yeah.
the problem
No,
is,
that's true. That's
the problem
very true.
is,
Agreed.
I don't think it's a problem, but the problem with Marvel villains is that Marvel villains are so charismatic. I mean, it's been, it's not like this is
Or-
news.
No,
Loki.
yeah, no.
I love
Loki
him, but
Loki
he's a
is
bad guy,
awesome, but
but
he's the only one. They gotta get some more like that.
No, I'm just, yeah, well,
You know,
I don't know.
like
So-
guys who are likable, but
For sure.
bad.
Okay.
We got about 2 minutes, and then this thing will shut itself down.
Which is probably good for our, what are we down to, like 3 now? I don't know.
No, it was still
Four.
Ooh, 5.
5. Okay.
Woo-hoo.
Anyway,
Five people like
quick
us.
final thoughts. We got like 60 seconds, and then the whole thing goes down. So,
Okay.
Arjuna, you start. You've got
He already said.
15 seconds. Oh, you're done
He
there.
already did this.
Okay, Sarah, go.
Wait, what are we,
Final thoughts. Anything.
Anything you want.
final thoughts. I'm still excited about Game of Thrones. I know that you were complaining because you felt the episode was a little slow, but I don't think it was. I'm really kind of excited to see where they go with the stuff I haven't seen yet. I am still, I know you don't want to talk about Arrow, but I'm interested to see where it goes. Well, where it goes with the whole like kind of weird Wayward Pines city they got going on underneath the city.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm pretty pleased with where everything is going right now, nerd-wise on television.
Go.
Gronkowski, Madden.
What?
Oh, we completely forgot that. That's my last thing, too. Gronkowski. Yep, go.
2017.
The Madden curse.
He got it. Nope, that's not been proven for the last 2 years, so he'll be fine. Patriots will win the Super Bowl 2017. You heard it here first. Bye-bye.
That is a bold prediction.
That was my final thought, too.
All right.
Except you're predicting them to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I did.
No, I'm talking about.
I would put money on it. I mean, they're the
Okay.
favorites right now, and
Okay.
All right.
so it's a bad
This
way
has
to go.
been
done
this
before
has
it
been
kicks us off of here.
LuZoCast. Thank you everybody for watching. We will try this again next week. Maybe we'll start on time.
And everything will work
Cut it down a bit, too,
beautifully.
yeah.
We will be reposting this if you want to watch
On
it again.
iTunes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hashtag smiley face.
Bye.
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 Bye.